Is the key to entrepreneurship is making sure that individuals that you're serving enjoy the process.
Nisa?
I guess so. So what I do is community work, and I had this thought process in the beginning, which I no longer have. That almost the equation that you do this because you love it and don't worry about the money. Treating people like everyone is somebody, because they are. The guys in my neighborhood, and this is my last thing, the guys in my neighborhood, I live in Congress Heights, and people think I'm crazy because they say, oh, I live in Congress Heights. And I did just move there. But I'm a firm believer, this is what I do. This is what I was put here to do. No different from Ayala, no different from Wayne Dyer. This is my calling. But at the same time, everybody in this room has a calling and a gift. So like the guys in my neighborhood that hang out at the liquor store. Like, hey. I'm like, hey. Sure, I may be walking through the weed or whatever they're smoking. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So I think that with the customer service, you have to really understand everybody is somebody. And you may not get something from them, they may give you something. And if you can't see that, no matter what, you're gonna have it like Rob said, right? Yeah. Okay. What the name's okay. So like Rob said, you can literally stop your own food coming into your mouth. So I think customer service that's a basic thing you should just say.
Perfect. So my next question, and I think this will be my final question before we open up to the audience. I really want a brother and a sister to come to the front and prepare to ask the question of these panelists. I think it's very important that we take advantage of these opportunities because this doesn't come around but so often. And I think it's important that we continue to educate ourselves and become better people. With that being said, I want you guys to think about those dreadful times as an employee of somebody else.
Always was there to set up for my day. If my students did an assignment, it was my job to get it back to us and not teach my African American or African boys that, look, yeah, we talking about this stuff in the book, but let's first talk about self-respect. Let's first understand that you're not coming in here with your pants down and your shirt not tucked in. I don't care what you do outside these doors, but you're not doing that in here. And being firm in that and standing in that, and then having someone to be counterproductive to that to say, oh, you're too hard on the kids. I always had a problem with that because these are not your kids, these are my students, and I took pride in that. I took that to be my social and my responsibility as someone that they looked at as a role model. So in being an employee, it was very heartbreaking to understand that people just didn't have the same level of care and the same level of passion that you had to just deliver the best product possible. And when I understood that people didn't respect that, it just makes being an entrepreneur that much more powerful because I now can go in school as a CEO and not a teacher because they're now on my agenda. I can now go in schools and say what I want to say to my African boys about don't get it twisted. You too can be your own business owner and understand the power in that and not be on someone else's agenda. So that becomes a very powerful theme when you are not the employee, you are the business owner and the investor, and you're on your own agenda with delivering an excellent product and not having to be held to mediocrity because someone doesn't want to step up to that level.
Perfect. Let's, Gina, answer this question before we turn it to the audience question. So what lessons did you learn in those dreadful times as an employee that helped you further your potential as an entrepreneur?
I would say work ethic and compassion. And I say compassion because we do have teachers that teach us, so I do have employees, and the compassion comes in when you understand that they also have families, that someone's child may be sick one day. Those kind of things you have to take from being an employee. Understand that someone tells you can't take off work if your child is sick. But your employee tells me, if my employee tells me that their child is sick, I understand that. It's compassion. And the work ethic, being to work on time. If you have that at work, you have to have it in business. You have to be there on time. You have to be, if I say I'm gonna call you at 12 o'clock, I'm gonna call you at 12 o'clock. You know, so that work ethic is really important.
So I got a special question for you. You mentioned compassion and just helping employees out or being lenient when they have emergencies. How do you sift through the legitimate emergencies and I guess the excuses? Like if an employee just didn't feel like getting up that morning and they're just like, you know what, I'm just going to make up an excuse. I've always been curious about that with my employers, you know.
Well, I think definitely as a female, you know, being a female entrepreneur, people will try you, you know. Even if it is another female, they might see what they can get away with. So as an employer, it's still those limits, you know. If you caught out today, you're not calling out next week as well. You know what I mean? And then it will be, you gotta go, you know, because it is a business. So if I have customers coming in and they're expecting you to be there and you're not there every other week, that's a problem. So, you know, it still has to be that balance again of the compassion, but also that this is a business and I'm counting on you, you know, to be there.
Oh, right. Sure. Matter of fact, let's open it up to everyone.
Well, I would say I had one job after I finished at Howard, and I did research, and I did that for about 2 or 3 years. And the thing that I dreaded the most, I'll never forget this day, and this is really honestly why I'm entrepreneurial right now. One morning I woke up, it was the day after Christmas, and I had to go to work. And in my mind, I was thinking to myself, like, I'd rather be with my family right now. I'd rather be in North Carolina, which is where I'm originally from. I'd rather be down there with my brothers and my mom and enjoying the holidays, but yet I have to come back to work because I didn't have vacation days. So I'm sitting there at my desk and thinking to myself, like, why isn't anyone else here? And I know I used up all my vacation time to that point, so I had to be there. But the thing that struck me the most is that my managers or my supervisors weren't there when I was there working. And that's the day I really understood the value of leadership. And that day when I was sitting there I really wasn't doing anything, but the fact that I had to be there just rubbed me the wrong way. And that day after Christmas, I decided that next summer I'm going to quit my job, and that was Christmas of 2012. And I decided that the summer of 2013, I was going to walk away from this and I would never work for anybody ever again. And that was all because I was in that moment sitting there and I was like, where's everybody who's supposed to be telling me what to do? And I really realized how important leadership was. And I wanted to one day be a leader that led people the right way instead of saying, hey, go to work, but I'm still on vacation. And that was the day it changed everything. And from there, I went on like a 6-month, like, no BS, goal-driven, gotta quit this summer, or gotta be prepared to quit. And I know you asked that before, and we really didn't answer the question, but I had saved up to quit and to be prepared financially to make that transition. But one thing I realized is that I really didn't need that preparation. It wasn't the money I needed to be prepared to quit. It was the mentality that I needed to transition it and to be a self-starter and get up every day when nobody's telling me I gotta be at my desk at a certain time. But now I know I'm doing something I like to do. So I don't need an alarm clock to get me up and get me there. I just need something that I care about. And it just changes your whole perspective on what you want to do. But either way, long story short, leadership was the one thing that was missing in my work, in my employee life, that I wanted to make sure I brought to the business aspect of what I do, as far as teaching other people how to be entrepreneurs. Because I only have one employee now, and she's my assistant. But everybody else that I work with is independent. I'm just showing you how to do business.
I know that's right. Nisa, please.
So let's see, the question again was, what is that moment? Okay, so I would say I've led up until this point, a pretty interesting life. I worked in a factory, I worked a lot of jobs. But I used to work at Target, and I was behind closed doors. So I had this supervisor who just did not like me. And she used to yell at everybody, literally. And so one day I went into her office because, you know, I just been raised a certain way and you say what you need to say in a respectful way. And I was gonna let her know because I just knew once I told her it was gonna click for her and she was gonna change. You know, that's what I thought. So I said, oh, can I talk to you? And she looked at me like, I don't even like you. And so I never did anything to my supervisor. They said it was more, other people tell me it was more of a, I had already had my degree and everything. I was working at Target. I really liked the job I had. It was low paying, but I was doing customer service and I love people. So anyway, people were telling me it was more of a personality thing. So I said, oh, I need to talk to you. I said, yeah, I really don't, I closed the door. I really don't think it's appropriate how you yell at everybody in here. That's not how you should be talking to employees. And she looked at me like I had horns coming out of my head, like, what is this? Who was she talking to? And she was like, are you done? And I said, I am. And so, you know, basically, she just really reinforced to me, no matter what the situation, no matter how stressful it is, because I did get promoted right under her, like 3 months later, and I was working in human resources by that time. She just really kind of reinforced to me, no matter what the situation, again, when my mom...
Too close, boy, set it off, don't do too much, and the club gets lost. If you can't get with it, baby boy, hold up. Bring it back one time for the DJ. If she going all out, that's on replay. Put her sexy hands on display. Mikey hop on that, no delay. Cause I don't see no competition these days. It's just so cool, at least that's what she say. My Eyez sipping for her rosés. Lady cup of rosé, I'm about to snatch her rocks and get lost. Get lost, so for respect, cause baby we are. She trying to turn, so I add a little sauce. She can't get with it, keep it moving, baby girl. Get lost, get lost, get lost. Back, don't be too close. Boy, set it off, don't do too much, and the club gets lost. If you can't get with it, baby boy, get lost. Yes, that's what you do. Then they find like a style. Yeah. Hey, buddy, shout out to Hani. I like that. Hey, Taliban, I like that. I like that. All the way, man. Y'all have a good night. Listen up. See you later. Yeah. Listen up. Listen up. Listen up. Listen up. Uplisten. Alright, y'all. So we're gonna start going to the next person. Yeah, turn me up.
I wanna be the guy that's overpaid. Build my own mob, we all made. Be the one with the juice, man that made. Get drunk, wanna hump, leave an overlay. Watch an ocean fall, cascade. Be on top, win every accolade. When you doing great, you know they gon' hate. Go extra hard, leave no space. Loyalty, I can demonstrate. Everybody here eating up a dinner plate. I want everyone to hear the service. Sharing like community service. We living in the basement, working. Case will be closed like curtains. On the Maybach, I'm talking way back when the Nextel phones was chirping. Sir, is it my fault? Am I doing something? Sir, are y'all doing the most but still doing nothing? Sir, jumping the V and I swerve on 'em. Swerve, there's no limit how I'ma serve on 'em. Sir, there's no limit how I'ma serve on 'em. Sir, there's no limit when I'ma serve on 'em. Sir, is it my fault that I'm doing something? Sir, y'all doing the most but still doing nothing. Is it my fault that I'm doing something? Y'all doing the most but doing nothing. A whole lot of nothing that'll get attention. I'm starting to notice all the bar cuffing. Talk about the things that you never do. Guardian person, you ain't stood still. All these things, selling fake chains. Now I'm trying to see if that religion is true. With your rich lies and your fake truths. You really blew sex on Fifth Avenue? You really wanna risk every avenue? Pump fake and what happened to the roof is cool. But you know who jumped in the 2-door-2. You know what I do? I swerve on them. We no limit in 98. Mr. Serve on them. Serve. Is it my fault? Am I doing something? V and I swerve on them. There's no limit when I'm serve on them. There's no limit when I'm serve on them. Time to swerve on them. Till the beat drop. There's no limit when I'm serve on them. Time to cook it up for them. It's my fault that I'm doing something. Good for, hold up. Y'all doing the most, I'm still doing nothing. Last one right here, this last one right here. This is my man. You already know. All I ever wanted. Featuring my bro Reggie Street. Let's go. If all you ever wanted was to get that bread, put your hands up. Flex.
All I ever wanted to be mad rich.
Mad rich.
All I ever wanted was a bad bitch. All I ever wanted was a check.
What's a check?
All I ever wanted was a flex.
What's the flex?
All I ever wanted to be mad rich.
Shit, talk about.
All I ever wanted was a bad bitch.
All I ever wanted was the bread. Bust checks like I ate a lot of lead. I'm from a city where they throw a lot of lead. Pop the perks through the dirty Sprite instead. All I ever wanted was to live. Buy a crib for my family and kids. Then the stew going harder than it gets. Nobody in my circle stomach touch their ribs. If it's up to me, we all gon' eat. I wanna see the whole city on their feet. I feel like the city waiting on me. And it's a thrill when they hating on me. I was born great, far from average. Everywhere we go, we on the A-list. Tearing up the coast with a gorgeous bitch. Ain't no other team here hotter than it.
All I ever wanted was a check.
What's a check?
All I ever wanted was a flex.
What's a flex?
All I ever wanted to be mad rich.
Mad
All I ever
rich.
wanted was a bad bitch. All I ever wanted was a check.
What's a check?
All I ever wanted was the flex.
What's a flex?
All I ever wanted to be mad rich. All I ever wanted was
Hold
a
up.
bad bitch.
Last name ring bells from the hustle. Flexing on them, no weights, no muscles. Been doing this since the no pocket rustles. The beast is back, they done let me out the muzzle. Houston ran out of problems, now it's trouble. And the flow gon' get us out the struggle. When you fall off, don't nobody want you. When you dead or you honest when they love you. Niggas round when you on, now they love you. Oh, you my bro, that don't mean I'ma trust you. Marathon in the town and we run it. Keep everything a million, what's 100? And I don't talk nothing like them assholes. No Gucci belt holding the floor. Hug in the corners with the streets is full. And we ain't sell no work out the band though. All I ever wanted was a check.
All I ever wanted was a flex. All I ever wanted to be mad rich. All I ever wanted was a bad bitch. All I ever wanted was a check.
What's a check?
All I ever wanted was the flex.
What's the flex?
All I ever wanted to be mad rich. All I ever wanted was a bad bitch.
Belly Smalls, great group TNT. Baltimore, thank you DC.
But they just wasting their time. Woke up this morning, got the yawn and counting this cash until it got boring. Peeking through the blinds, I see 12 for my lines. That's the chicken, but they just wasting their time. Anyway, new day, hotel, hot plate, baking soda, Pyrex, old scale, new Yola, old pie, new ways to grind my head beaters, new bags, old bitch, new swag, boss of labor, RP Fairy, gave me the recipe and the blueprint, since then, been a nuisance, money jumping out the gym, change jumping off the roof, you owe me that so, that's what you better do, they call me Paul Pierce, cause youngin' been the truth, watching out for goofy trying to tackle me, riding for respect, niggas as a casualty, cops kill, kill cops, that's the motto of my Woke up this morning, got the yard, they counting niggas cash until they got boring. Peeking through the blinds, I see 12 on my line, investigating, but they just wasting their time. Woke up this morning, got the yard, they counting niggas cash until they got boring. Peeking through the blinds, I see 12 on my line, but they just wasting their time. We up, hop up out the bed and shake my dreads. Young Mike, he just woke up to some head. Then I brush my teeth and get this cash. The cash, shorty pop her pussy, I pop tags. It's the cash, bitch. I just got good ass, bitch. Show that hoe the chance, bitch. You act like my last, bitch. Shorty too emotional. Time to coach the hoe. Set up the pick and roll. Need to get low. He watching me, kick it like a soccer team. Trash through the alley with that bag fans after me. They would never capture me. Fast like I'm Jack V. Take on my shoulders, coming through like a masterpiece. Woo! The cash. Go, go. 85 on the day, but I swear I'm going 100 miles and running 12 behind it. I don't want it. Grandmaster Flash, I'ma hit the gas, quick smash, uptown on that ass. Real nigga, boss, max, tax, block, all this stuff. We got it all, you need a boy, just make a call. I ain't always gotta bring it, my bitch drops it all. I ain't always gotta bring it, my bitch drops it all. 85 on the dash, 2 blocks in the stash, 6 grand on the floor, 50 every time I swing my dough. I got the money, I need hoes, learn to the soul, dirty hoe. Had me fucking up 95 till my tires got sold. I don't trust a soul, it's fire, screw to all the toes. Busy on my hip so you can say that they're awesome. Flexing like I'm on air, crash flow, looking flawless. Couple police for real, living life lawless. 5 on the dash, but I swear I'm going 100, 12 behind me, they don't want it. Grandmaster Flash, I'ma hit the gas, quick smash, uptown on that ass. Posted with some real niggas, max, tax, blocks, all this stuff. We got it all, you need it, boy, just make a call. I ain't always gotta bring it, my bitch drops it all. I ain't always gotta bring it, my bitch drops it all. Riding down that Ave in that Beamer, boy. 440 on the dash with a Beamer, boy. Don't play on my tags, I'm that Easter boy. Fucking 2 best friends, Ben and Gina, boy. I get cash, smoke a lot of gas. Your bitch, all glass, she throw that as I catch the pass to my car. We chatting, sound 50 V12, I see 12, I'm on seashell. My shit float like seashells. I'm pew like fuck 12. 5 on the dash, but I swear I'm going 100 miles and running 12 behind me, they don't want it. Grandmaster Flash, I'ma hit the gas, quick smash, uptown on that ass. Posted with some real niggas, plus max, tax, blocks, all this stuff. We got it all, you need it, boy, just make a call. I ain't always gotta bring it, my bitch drops it all. I ain't always gotta bring it, my bitch drops it all. Really? Fuck 12, fuck 12. Hey, fuck 12, fuck the police. 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 Bitch, I got my own heat. Birds fly south for the low ski. Nigga, we got everything. Big shit, dirt cheap. You can come and cop, best believe me.
police, nigga, fuck the police, fuck the police, fuck the police, fuck the police, nigga, fuck the police, fuck the police, fuck the police, fuck 12, fuck 12 police, fuck 12. They killing us, man. Man, thank y'all, man. That's young Mike Cash shit. Hey, hello to the world. I make different music, and I like rock and roll. So, hey, I'm Mr. Rock and Roller. Get high like roller coasters, fly like birds, high like planes, and I got game. Spitting them flames, just like a dragon. Mr. Not give a fuck, and still sagging. Mr. Might fuck your moms and take your girl. Get drunk off a groove and go Earl. I don't care, cause I've been great. I'm the rapper you don't like, but your girl wanna date. Cause I'm Mr. Rock and Roller. Get high like roller coasters, fly like birds, high like planes, and I got game. I'm spitting these flames, just like a dragon. Mr. Not give a fuck, pants still sagging. Why they be tripping off all my tattoos? Why they be tripping off the way that I dress? Why they be tripping off the bitch that I sleep with? Bitch that I go get my TLC creep with? I don't know, but my mind's on bonkers. Jumping off stage, marsh pits, fight yonkers. You niggas know I rock and roll. Yeah, I play that guitar the same way I play with your girl, cookies, your boys, rookies. I ain't used to go to school. Yeah, I used to play the hooky. The life of robbing, drugs, and sex took me. Now I'm playing with demons, hearing people screaming. Gay to women, life from a semen. When you see the police, niggas say fuck 'em. If you see the judge, niggas say fuck 'em. Cause they ain't gon' hesitate to put you on lock. That's why my pants down, middle finger showing my cock. Cause I'm Mr. Rock and Roller. Get high like roller coasters, fly like birds, high like planes, and I got game. I'm spitting these flames, just like a dragon. Mr. Not give a fuck, my pants still sagging. Mr. Rock and Roller, get high like roller coasters, fly like birds, high like planes, and I got game. I'm spitting these flames, they all just like a dragon. Mr. Not give a fuck, pants still sagging. Her mom told her she don't like me. Child, he ain't gonna do the right damn thing. How you gonna judge me? Cause of how I look, you ain't even turn the page to even try to read my book. So what I got tapped, so what I got dreads, so what I did time, I made it home from the feds. Hey, yeah, I get drunk, yeah, I smoke weed, but I got a job, great friend, a family. But the world don't care about your good, they love you bad. Bush blew up the towers, now ain't that sad? Cause I gotta preach like T5 reach. The deaf can see and the blind can speak. And I'm telling y'all, just try to live right. Niggas stop raping little girls, that's why they gay. And to my niggas, you ain't gotta be gay. If you ain't never had no pussy, get some today. Cause I'm Mr. Rock and Roller. Get high like roller coasters, fly like birds, high like planes, and I got game. Spitting these flames, just like a dragon. Mr. Not give a fuck, pants still sagging. Mr. Rock and Roller, get high like roller coasters, fly like birds, high like planes, and I got game. Spitting these flames, just like a dragon. Mr. Not give a fuck, pants still sagging. Hey, hey, hey. Spitting these flames, just like a dragon. Mr. Not give a fuck, pants still sagging. Mr. Rock and fuck your mom and take your girl to jump off the roof. And oh, I don't care. I've been great. I'm the rapper you don't like, but your girl really big. Ooh, hold up. Hey, turn it up. Turn it up, DJ. Turn it up some more. Hey, why, right? Let's see. Hey, they say I think too much, but if I think too much, it's because your mama butt. Yeah, I I be staring at the titties. If I'm staring at the titties, that's cause mama wanna hit me. Hey, I'ma trip like a school bus on GNT, make your bitch wanna fuck. Hey, so I pulled down her drawers, then I grab her by the neck and I fuck her on the side. You know, Spice niggas don't like me, so I tell them do the right thing like Spike Lee. I leave the club with about 2 bitches. When I get to my home, it's about 2 bitches. Hey, I ain't gotta say no names, but they know who they are. Got the Tiny gang. Fuck that, let a nigga rap. Y'all niggas so Hollywood can't even act. So I'm yelling out, fuck you, cut. I'll put out your fire like a cigarette butt. Then I go home just fuck, because I don't give a fuck. Hey, cha-cha. Hey, 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 what it say? You know. Hey, 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 hey. Then I go home just fuck, because I don't. Verse 2, nigga, hot you. Your ass stink like nigga P.U. Come downstairs asking me questions. Bitch, give me your knees and give me a blessing. So the lesson to be learned, don't take a hood bitch and try to turn. Hey, cause she might fuck all your friends. Hey, cause she might suck all your mans. Hey, now my DA bitch trippin', want me to come home tired and stop bitchin'. Hey, so I turn up like Tina, get up on myself and she suck my penis. Fix me like Tiny, just chill, cause you actin' like Jack on the hill with Jill. Nigga, I'm a fucking show off. I get up on the song and watch me show off. But you know, do it like me. Got these niggas mad and they wanna fight me. Hey, I know I'm too damn cocky, so listen to my song cause they ball to block me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Hey, 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 what it say? You know, hey, I be by myself in my zone, just rockin'. And I go home just fuck, because I don't give a fuck. Tiny, huh? It's good. Ooh. Alright, this is my shit, right? Well, I don't like this. Listen. Wake up in the morning, smelling fresh, get dressed, and you step outside and you gotta impress. What you do? Show off, show off, show off. How I feel. Show off, show off, show off. And it's my new swag, people pay attention and listen to the intellect that's about to be given. I was born and raised in the forsaken days where they said I wouldn't make it, now I show off today. I told my haters, I'm built to last. I ain't never gonna break like an arm in a cast. I done slept in the mud, was axed out in the streets. I done been down and dirty like gators and creeks. They done put me in the cage, trying to lock up the rage. Not knowing one day King Kong would escape. So I play life like a game of spades. I cut the dreads a little short, I can't get them in braids, but I still look cool. And your mom, she loved me. That's why every time when she see me, she hug me. I told y'all, he about to show off. Get up on the song and watch me show off. When you wake up in the morning, smelling fresh, get dressed, and you step outside and you gotta impress. What you do? Show off, show off, show off. How you feel? Show off, show off, show off. Hey, when you hit the club scene, outfit, look at me, girls looking all crazy, girls smelling like cream. What you do? Show off, show off, show off. How I feel? Show off, show off, show off. Hey, it ain't over, no, this is the sequel. While I got you people attention, this is the prequel. Lyrical slaughter, just like the house. When you gang bang, tell me which way is out. Cause they say blood in, and only blood.
I'm from the capital where legal assassins threaten and massacre you. Habical, strugglers, baby, burglars, scaffold you. Absolute stallions with higher vibe jeans. I'm a bottom style for you. Lots of attitude, the black Maddox, them hazards too. I hit it, she hit it, she hit it, then it hands right back to you. Capital drove me happen, you choking like it was magical. After you witnessed half of the district's avenues and trenches passing through things happen that you can't even capture, like the bastard that smacked the old lady, snatched the person, skedaddled off that ill. You don't want to be in the path for that meal. We still dwell in the land our ancestors was hung off music, classical. Blaze heavy politicking over a dozen of crabs or two. Throwing back and forth opinions of war, status quo. I'm a rebel, he a rebel, she a rebel, that is cool. We as rebels stuck in the metro rebel. We have to, this higher vibration. We taking them haters right back up from the capital. Yeah, where I was born, where I was born, is the river where I came from. Off in the road, east of the river where I came from, where I was born. vibrations, John of the Rebel, Rastafari, you know what I mean? This song is called Be Strong, right? Because there's a lot of things happening to us in the streets right now that we gotta like unite. Be strong. Know yourself, be strong. Love yourself, and be strong. Yeah. Cause it was made to dictate us. They give us the nowadays the quietest. Cause they hate when we strong. They know it's bad for your teeth. They know it's bad for your health. But we love it because it's sweet. We ain't strong. That's how your enemies will sneak you. They know they can mistreat you and reward you with candy if you ain't strong. If you take it, you succumb to the basics and all the problems that's laced with being weak, not strong. Yeah. I forgot this one. Lord have mercy. Pull up, I gotta be strong. Yeah, Solomonic dynasty, His Imperial Majesty, right? Eyez Selassie the First, 225th descendant of King David. Know your history. Solomonic dynasty, King of Kings, Lord of Lords, conquering lion, he rules. Yeah, ever living, ever faithful, ever sure. Highly I Empire, Solomonic dynasty, King of Kings, Lord of Lords, conquering lion, he rules and reigns. Yes, from the roots of the mighty King David, holy, highly Eyez Selassie, oh how great he is. Perfect example of a man and the ways he should walk upon. I condone many of the morals that the king condoned. It was known that this and that man was born there in Ethiopia. It was known that him was crowned there. Christ and his kingly character in a new name. Yeah! Bronze skin, eyes of flame, natty dread, woolly hair like a Marley. Little lamb, but roared like a Marley. Schools, roads, land, aircraft, defender of the faith. You don't know the half, victorious, winning battle, glorious. He established the balance when Her Highness was crowned, same time beside him. Hosanna, this here is history, this here is prophecy. Revelations 5x5, Ali, oxen free. Skedaddle, find your books of life and you will see. Solomonic dynasty. Skedaddle, find your books of life and you will see that he rules upon his throne. Solomonic dynasty, highly I Empire. Solomonic dynasty, King of Kings, Lord of Lords, conquering lion, he rules and reigns, ever living, ever faithful, ever sure. Highly I Empire. Solomonic dynasty, King of Kings, Lord of Lords, conquering lion, he rules and reigns. Yeah! Christ and his kingly character. Alright, go check it for yourself and make you read a chapter. He's no lamb to the slaughter. Eyez the lion that conquer. Solomon's a dance. He's a lion one there. To infinity. Power of the Trinity. From the lineage of Sheba is Solomon. I can't direct the scepter 225th, ruling with a man from the Davidic covenant. King, priest, and prophet, he's ordained. Nothing can stop it. No one can touch it. The Babylon don't like this topic. I am Solomonic dynasty, King of Kings, Lord of Lords, conquering lion who rules and reigns. Yeah! Solomonic dynasty, the King of Kings and Lord of Lords, the conquering lion, he rules. Yeah! Amen. Happy Ethiopian New Year. Today is the New Year, 2008, on the Ethiopian calendar. If you know your history, you know your demographics. Yeah! Rastafari. Yeah! Rastafari. The love of God, is all I own. It's the only love that I'll ever know. Hey! Oh, how I love Jah. Oh, how I love Jah. Never desert him. I'll never deny him. Oh, yes, Jah gave his love so sweet. He shared his love with us so gently. He gave his love to us so freely. Oh, how I love Jah. Oh, how I love Jah. Oh, how I love Jah. Yeah! King of kings, Lord of lords, conquering lion of the tribe of Judah. Direct lineage from King David to Jesus. To highly Eyez that I got up first. Hey! The love of Jah, Jah.